Hi everybody, this is Bonnie, and I've decided to make about 10 of these little baskets. I'm not done decorating them, for people in my town and around that are more elderly, and I am going to make them, and we're going to go hand them out on May Day. I'm not sure, I was thinking of putting Tootsie Rolls in them, but then my daughter that is going to go with me said that maybe I shouldn't put Tootsie Rolls in them because she thought that maybe the elderly wouldn't be able to chew on them. So I didn't give that a thought. So then I'm thinking maybe I could put some type of Tootsie Roll, or I could go buy some soft oatmeal cookies. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to put in them. When I get one all done and together before we hand them out, I will take a picture of them and show you all. Now, I'm not showing you up close exactly what I'm doing. I'm just kind of getting on here and chit-chatting with you while I'm doing it, because I already did a video on how to put one of these together. So, catch that video for more details on step-by-step of this. But I just thought it would be fun to get on here and chit-chat. I don't know if I've talked much about my personal life, but I thought I would get on and just chat. So let's see. I have 3 children. I have a son that is 24, and he has a farm, and he's had it for a long time, and right now it's not good for farmers. I mean, he's been doing farming with my brother for, God, since he was 12. He's always worked at the farm, if not even younger. He's been at the farm all his life. But then he finally went into his own farming right out of high school. That's what he knew he wanted to do, and that's what he did. And my brother has helped him along the way, which I'm very grateful for. So that's about my son. Now I have 2 daughters also. I have one daughter that is 16, soon to be 17 here. Which she's in high school and doing CAS, which right now that's kind of difficult to do when you are quarantined. So I'm not really sure how that's going to go when they go back. And then I have another daughter that is Paige, and she is 13. She just turned 13. And she, just before school got shut down, she decided to join the ukulele club, if I said that right. Sorry, I didn't butcher it. And she's really bummed because she was really enjoying it, and she'd just gotten her ukulele, and now she can't play it or anything. She can play it. She's playing. It does come with a book, and there's a tuner and stuff, so she can do stuff like that with it. But teenage daughters, they're missing their friends at school. It's just a really rough time for them right now, and it's a rough time for me too. I mean, I don't know. I don't do like much outside of the home anyways, but it's just the idea that I do want to go do it and I can't. So it kind of drives me crazy. But yeah, so I've been teaching myself how to do these online classes and stuff, and it's new. It's new to my club girls, and so we're getting there. And so that'll be fun. And so I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've always done Stampin' Up, and I've always been home with my kids, which I'm very blessed for. And my husband worked for many years at the local hospital, and then he has out on Social Security disability right now because of he has neuropathy. And he's been out of work now for at least 4 or 5 years. So we're, we don't do a lot of traveling or anything because it's hard for him to walk. And so yeah, so that's what's, part of my little life. I live in an old farmhouse, and I've had a huge bedroom, which used to be a very, oops, I ran out of staples, which used to be a very big living room when I was growing up. And then my parents, when all of us kids moved out, turned it into their bedroom. And then, this is like a really weird long story, but then me and my husband moved back in with my mom and dad because my mom was getting ready to retire. Kind of a long story, but, and my dad had fallen, and they didn't want to leave their house while they traveled. So they asked us if we would mind, moving back in. And at that time, it was a good time for us too. And so we did, but they ended up not traveling because my dad fell and broke his hip. So we just lived here for, a lot of years with them. And then they decided, they had their camper, and they were staying up at my brother's, like during the almost like 6 or 7 months out of the year. They'd stay right up there from the minute the weather got nice, and stayed through the October because my brother had a pumpkin farm up there. And so anyways, they ended up going up there. So then we had the house to ourselves while they were gone. And then in the winter, they would come back. Well, then my brother bought a double wide for them. And they ended up moving right up there on the farm. And so we ended up, long story short, we ended up buying the house from them. And so yeah, so now this is where we live. And my dad has been passed now, I think 7 years now. And when he passed a year later, my mom decided she wanted to move back home. And so she moved back home and lived with us. And now just in December, she passed away on the 13th this past year. It's been very hard. For us, it seems even harder when, I grieved my dad, but I didn't live with him because they lived up at the house. I lived with him when he lived here, but they moved for several years, and so it wasn't like an everyday contact. But when you live with your parent or, other, it is hard when they go. I guess sometimes you almost could take it for granted because you just don't think. I just think, she's going to be here forever. And then all of a sudden, she got really sick and boom. And it was fast. It was like she wasn't feeling well in October, towards the end of October, but then she bounced back. And then in November, she got really sick and was in and out of the hospital several times. Went in for Thanksgiving. And she was in there for a while, and then they told her there was really nothing more they could do, and so she wanted to come home, so we brought her home. And that night, we brought her home on the 12th, and that night she passed away. But, you know, I miss her a lot because we did a lot of these crafts. Cards, you know, when the new catalog come out, I was like all excited. And usually Mom and I got excited and we did all that. And, you know, she wasn't here to do those things with me. So it was kind of like a exciting moment, but kind of like a bad, like a bull, because I couldn't get excited with her. But, well, enough about that kind of sappy stuff. But anyway, so I live in a very old farmhouse that's got a lot of drafts and a lot of cold air. I've lived here all my life because other than the 1 year that I moved out with my husband, maybe it was almost 2 years we moved out, yeah. And then I moved right back into my childhood home. So it's kind of funny that I'm still in my childhood home and still here, and we love it. My husband is from Ohio, so we do travel that way a lot. He's not from around here. So I don't know, you know. But isn't that pretty? Isn't this beautiful paper? This was some old butterfly paper. I want to say it might even have been last year's, like, celebration paper, if I can remember. So I thought I wanted something kind of cheery. I know, and then I'm putting a black thing on it, but I think it'll be okay, handle, because I'm going to add some colorful, like, buttons on them, and I'm going to add maybe a little ribbon. So I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be good. And what else can I talk to you about? Oh, I have a little dog. She's a miniature pinscher. Her name is Sula May. And my husband, his family grew up and they were from Czechoslovakia. And so he looked it up and he found out Sula meant princess. And I don't know, I just added the May. You know how when you get mad at your dog or something and you're like, you know, or your kids, and you yell like, Paige Nicole, or, you know, whatever their middle name is. Well, I came up with them when I got mad at her when she was little. I would say, Sula May. And I'd get all frustrated with her and mad. And so now it's just kind of stuck. So now she's Sula May. So she's a Princess May, I guess, if you, I don't know. So that's what we've done. And then we have one cat now. Our other cat got hit at the top of the hill. Because I live on a side country road, but there's a main highway. And I don't make, my cats are outdoor cats. I let them come and go. And I know that's kind of sad, but she was in heat like crazy. Her appointment to get her fixed was not soon enough, and she was ripping, like, scratching at the doors and scratching at the windows, trying to get out. And it was so, I mean, it was bad. And like I said, our house is very old, so it has a lot of drafts and stuff. And I had plastic up to this one window, and she literally ripped the plastic and got in between the window and the plastic. Now, I don't know. So I just said, if you want out that bad, go. And I prayed like crazy she didn't get pregnant before. And she didn't. So I was like, whew. But the male cat that we have, he never wanted to go out. And he stayed in. And she always went out. But he is so skittish. He's so scared of everything. I don't know if that's like a male cat thing, because this is only the male cat that we've had. Sorry if you hear that TV warning for emergency. That's on in the other room. And I have my craft room door open so you can hear it right now. But, yeah. So I don't know, she was just a crazy cat, and she just went out, like, literally, you know, had to go outside, so I let her go, and then it wasn't like a week later she got fixed, but he never went out. After he got fixed, he kind of still stayed in, and then finally when he did go out, he would only go, like, right outside, just a little ways, and he wouldn't go very far. So, yeah. So that was kind of a little cat story, I guess. Sometimes I get busy and then I'm like, trying to think of what I'm telling you guys. I'm sorry. Sometimes I do that in my videos too. I don't mean to. I do have a form of dyslexia, and so a lot of times when I pronounce things, they don't come out right because obviously I see it a different way than you guys do. And I've had it all my life, but they didn't catch it until I was in high school. Well, no, they caught it a little bit younger. I would say maybe 6th grade they caught it. Yeah. And then they realized what it was, and then I got help, but you know, struggling all your life, not knowing why you can't pronounce things right, reading things wrong. So anyways, so sometimes I just get focused and I just lose my train of thought, but that also goes along with anxiety that I have. It's my anxiety is just of, you know, I start to think about things and then it's not good, but as long as I keep myself busy, it doesn't bother me. But one of the things that affects you is like when you're trying to talk about stuff and you can't remember what you're saying, or it's like a dead stare. Sometimes I will dead stare, literally look at people and be like acting like I'm listening to them, and I don't even know what they said. And sometimes I'm just, you know, I just kind of lose my thought. So I'm sorry if I do that ever. I just want you guys to know, and hopefully you understand when I do videos that's a little bit more about me. So, okay, look at this, ladies and gentlemen, or whoever's watching. I got all 10 of these done, and the last 5 I really was able to like whip off because I was chit-chatting with you guys. So I think what I want to do is I want to get some real buttons and maybe put a real button here. And then I punched out all these little tags, and I thought I would just write Mayday on them and just either stick them here, or I don't know, I think right across there, that would be kind of cool. So that's my plan, and I really appreciate everybody chilling and chit-chatting with me. And maybe we can do this again sometime. If you like it, give it the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I will be gladly to do this again. So thanks for stopping by, everybody. Bye-bye.